get a moment sober. Call me when you coming over. Whiskey in a tall glass. I just wanna get to know you. Hold a second.
That's dope. Oh, my head is in here. Let me see.
All right.
Hi. Ooh,
All right. You there?
I'm here.
Okay, boom. Woo! Here we go once again, y'all. Once again, technical difficulties, but we are here. Guess what, y'all? This is Talks with Tay, Talks with Tay podcast. I am your girl Taylor, and I got a special guest with me tonight, and it's Phoenix, the spiritual life coach. How you doing, boo?
I'm good. I'm good. I can't complain. How about yourself?
I'm great. I've been having technical difficulties like for the past like couple of times. I don't know what's going on, but it won't hold us back from doing what we need to do today. Okay. So let me go ahead. Let's get this started because I'm a little bit behind. All right. So Phoenix, what inspired the name Phoenix and what does it represent in your life, boo?
Phoenix was inspired actually when I started doing cold cases with Astro Einstein, and so all of us were using um, our spiritual gifts to find and solve crimes. So Phoenix to me was like me rising up. Like I had this whole new personality, this whole new persona about myself. I had been through like so much. So that's where Phoenix came from.
Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the journey. What was the turning point that led you into the spiritual life coaching?
When people kept coming back to me telling me like if you wouldn't have told me this, then I wouldn't have known this, or this wouldn't have happened, or this if you told me that Aries is going to be here and you told me to pay attention to this and this and that. And it was just like so many people at one time just came back and kept telling me and telling me and telling me and telling me. And I was like, and I started praying and asking, like, okay, show me. Show if this is my journey, show me what my journey is. And it was like the most high took me on this marvelous journey to show me who I was and how I was gonna guide a bunch of people.
Okay, period. So, like, was there a season in your life where you had to move from survival mode to thriving mode yourself?
Every day. I think we all forget that we fall back into like this survival mode at times, especially like when we're going through something rough or if we're irritated even through the day, where we're reacting in a survival way. So each and every day I fight in between from going from survival mode, unlearning different habits to learn new ones to maintain being in a thriving mode. Because it's always something that you have to work towards, right? Um,
Right.
Unlearning things that you learned for so many years growing up, especially at our ages. Once you're past the age of 30, it's like your mind is clay, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the mind is almost content on staying the same. So after the
Right.
age of 30, we work harder to change ourselves than any other ages.
Correct. I totally agree with that. Um, so let me ask you, was there a season in your life where you had to, oh, I already asked you that. What challenges helped shape the woman you are today?
Oh, y'all gotta tell my business. Y'all look, I don't have a laugh button. Um, my whole life though. I lost my mom at a young age. Even before losing my mom, I was majority of the time I was alone. I was always by myself. I prayed for a sibling. He's probably watching. He never left, y'all. He never left. And so it was just me, always me and my brother, like all the time. So my whole life, like each and every last experience I've had, like I always say, like it's really not too much. Like I really haven't been through. You know, like I said, I lost my mom at a young age. Um, I've been in the abusive relationship. I've been through a lot, y'all. It's not really too much under the sun that I haven't been through. And like, I'm still here. I'm still fighting. I know postpartum down there took me out, like it probably took out a lot of other women. And I know during that time, my children's father had children that were the same age as our youngest. So that was something like really deep I went through with the postpartum, especially. And I think that's another thing that inspired Phoenix too, because I had been torn down so many times, and I think the postpartum was like the bottom, all bottoms for me.
Oh, I would like to say that I do have a book on Amazon called 7 Steps to Overcoming Postpartum.
Oh, okay, okay,
I
okay.
just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, perfect time and perfect time. I think all women should really take advantage of that, right? I think it's very underestimated on how much
No,
it
for
really
real.
affects us as women. And I had two kids back to back. So before I was even out of the full one, it was like, hold on, wait a minute, come here, let me show you something. So
Mhm.
that was really like the point where like I was really down and I kind of like rose from there.
Yeah, I understand that postpartum. Woo.
Mhm.
Spirituality and purpose. How do you define spirituality?
Spirituality is something that's not learned. You spirituality is something that's found. It's really something that's already within you. It's something that you're remembering. It's not something that you're being told by other people. You start to see everything in nature. You start to see how everything is synchronicity, and it's all working together, hand in hand. These are all things that you can see and observe yourself. Everybody's spiritual beliefs are obviously different, but majority of them that are on the true purpose and walking, it wasn't taught to them. And purpose, I would say, it goes hand in hand because you have a human purpose and you have a soul purpose.
Hmm.
Um, if you're walking in your human purpose, I tell people this all the time, you more than likely are walking for more material value than anything, right? But
Right.
if you're walking in your soul's purpose, you're going to be happy with that. Now, we can intertwine the two, but that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to balance them out, right? But if it's always about money, 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 you probably ain't walking in your soul's purpose because you wouldn't be worried about money because you will know that money can't even feed your soul, right? Only the need,
Period.
you know. Um, so walking in your purpose, that's why I always tell people: Are you walking in a human purpose, or are you walking in your spiritual purpose?
Right. I totally agree. Um, Something that stuck with me a while back, I used to be in a group called Girl Hold My Hand and we meditated together.
Mhm.
So one thing that I was always taught and it never left me, okay, because it makes so much sense. You could never be rich if your spirit isn't rich,
Mhm.
meaning respect, integrity, character, and honor. If you don't
Mhm.
have that, you don't have nothing. Okay. So so how can someone tell they're living out of survival instead of purpose?
When you're always scared to believe in yourself, that's one way that you're going to know that you are in a survival mode. Are you more reactive more than anything? I think one that people can really resonate with is like if you were raised in a household, right, where there was not any emotions or anything shown, you may be more reactive to your children when your children are doing things, right? You may be hyper fixated on your children becoming independent because you were independent at such a young age. So when you're recognizing and shifting your mind, am I doing this out of surviving or am I truly happy in this moment doing this? Right? We get a lot of us are in survival mode. We get up and go to work every day, right? We're doing it because we have to. But if we were thriving in the way that we wanted to, we probably wouldn't get up and go to work every day. Unless you just love your job, when you're an entrepreneur and you walking in your purpose, I can see that. But
Mhm.
if you're getting up really too much going and being pushed to do a routine that you don't really want to do, you're probably in a survival mode, right? You,
Right.
yeah, when you think about your childhood, that's what I'd like people to think about too. When you think about survival mode, and you're thinking about your childhood. Well, how were you raised? Were you raised off love or were you raised off survival? Most people will say they were raised off survival, right? Some will say love, obviously. Then you're probably operating in the same foundation of what you were raised in. If you were raised in survival, you're probably raising your kids in survival too. And recognizing that is looking at yourself, always going within you. You know, everything exterior is a reflection of you. So whatever's going on around you is a reflection of you. So what do you have that you need to deal with within you to change the frequency that you're on, to change the experiences that are happening around you?
Exactly. Exactly. That's right. I totally agree with that. So what's the first step someone should take to reconnect with themselves? Mm,
Meditation. I would definitely say like reconnecting with yourself, meditation, learning how to sit with yourself through those silent moments, those long moments. What is really within you? We search so much for everything outside, 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 outside. But when you really sit down and you really meditate, you really get answers from within you. And it's almost like, how did I know that? And I know that too. And I know that too. But how do I know that? Then you run to a computer. When you go into your spiritual way, you gonna run to a computer like, I'm right. How am I right about that?
right.
You're right. I, where was I going with that? Yeah. Meditation. That's the biggest one. Meditation.
So, when you say meditation, this is I know what it do, and I know about this life. But for the ones who are out there, could you tell them what meditation is to explain for the ones who don't understand what meditation is?
The simplest way I can put it is sit with yourself. And for those who do, who read the Bible, Matthew 6:6, it tells you to go into a dark closet, right? And you ain't got to speak no words because the Most High already knows your thoughts and what you are thinking. So, in a sense, it's just being in a relaxed state of mind, allowing your body to relax and adventuring more through the mind than you are the body, connecting with your higher self. Um, the best way to put a person in meditation is to tell them to go to a dark place and sit in silence. You may
Well,
fall asleep the first few times, but you'll get it after that.
exactly, because at the end of the day, how do you hear anything if you're not in a meditative state? I mean, you
Hmm.
have to sit and listen. All right. So how important is self-awareness in personal growth?
Oh, self awareness is huge in personal growth. Because, like I was saying earlier, everything that's a reflection of you. If everybody knew that the people that they hated the most were a reflection of them, you created that person to teach you this in this lifetime, right? The world would be different because then you'll be like, hold on, you would stop and be more self aware at that point. What is my energy
Self-awareness.
bringing that? Or what lesson do I need to learn? What do I need to take away from this? What do I need to? Because we all, when people understand that things happen for them, not to them, you have a way better understanding, right? But
Right.
also when you're observing energy, now you have the ability to use the energy. If you're not observing the energy because you're not self-aware enough to observe the energy, then you're it doesn't work that way, right? It just doesn't work that way. So when I give an example of that, it's like say like you struggle with getting out of bed in the morning, right? That's something you struggle, or you struggle with going to do the things that you need to do, right? Well, if you were more self-aware, like in the energy that you're embodying inside of you, you may be like, I'm a Mars Taurus. So I struggle with energy a lot. Mars just likes to be comfortable. So now I'm more self-aware to that energy. What can I do to assist myself in that energy? Did I answer the full question? What was the next one after that?
Yes.
Okay,
That was the question. Uh,
okay.
so I'm gonna ask you, how do you use it in your like, so people are curious about astrology. How do you use it in your coaching?
Am I coaching? So to make people more self-aware. That's the main thing about it. You are your own solar system. Each and every last one of us are our own solar systems. Where things and events start to take place is when the main solar system, right, starts to invade and kind of go around there. So I use it to make people more self-aware. When you have your map, you're more self-aware of what your day might bring, right? You're more self-aware of where this energy is coming from. When you meet people, now you're more self-aware of how they're going to affect your environment, your atmosphere, your map. Do we have a common reality field? Now you can prepare yourself for things that are oncoming. And you don't even need, this is the thing about it too though, it's the world. And what I mean by that is like you don't even need your map. If you guys just start going around asking people what their birthdays is, or even just looking outside at nature, nature would tell you a lot of the things that you need to know already, right?
Right.
We know the sun affects us. We know the moon affects us, right? We know
Right.
that the trees blow a certain way when it's getting ready to get cold outside. Like
Hmm.
all of these things just carry a sense of energy. And so I teach my students how to watch nature. That's why I teach basic observational astrology because you're observing everything. Nothing in your world is true unless you observe it.
Right.
So that's the way I use astrology, like in my coaching, um, because it also gives a framework of what your month is going to be like. So now you know where to set yourself up at and what you're working on for the month, because you're going to see the themes pop up. There's just no way out of it.
So, what do you think are some common misconceptions people have about astrology?
That is not real. That's the biggest misconception about astrology. It's not real. And I'm like, if you think the sun is burning us from way up there and all the planets surround the sun, you just think they don't have no effect on the human nature or what people are doing down here. I mean, that's just a persona, but I do think it's because it's not. They feel like it's not real. But from my research and what I've known and looking at a bunch of different religions or something, what I did besides when I was 8 and was learning all this was took something that everybody had in common. That's what it says in the beginning. It built the planets. It built seven heavens on one on top of each other. It created darkness. It created light. All of these things. So that's a basic thing that all of us have, right? When I was able to start going around and being like, oh, you're a whitey, you're a Mexican, I'm black, but however, I know that you guys are Leos and Aquarius is an Aries. How would I know those things, right? I wouldn't know those things. So the biggest misconception is that it's not working for us. Like it's not controlling anything when it is actually controlling everything that's happening down here. As above, so below. I always tell people, and I don't want to scare anybody when I say this, but you don't have free will. You just got free power. How are you going to use that power?
Correct. I totally agree with that. But that's more of people getting understanding. Okay. Uh, so how does mindfulness complement your spiritual work, mental and emotional wellness? Like how connected are you mental? How connected are mental health and spiritual health?
Oh, so much connected, right? Um, because everything manifests spiritually before it manifests mentally or physically, right? And so when you have a better understanding on why your mind is doing the things that it is doing, like overthinkers, especially Geminis, um, Virgos, Aquariuses, right? All those energies overly think, overly think. So when they overly think, they're wondering like, why am I overly thinking? Well, Gemini, Mercury. If your mind is being ruled by it, Mercury moves the fastest. It's one of the fastest moving planets around. So you're going to struggle more with mental health issues because you're going to be feeling it more than anybody else. That's why they be at the top of the unalivers list, right? When we had a big pandemic with Gemini and Pluto, um, they didn't have enough resources to help enough of the mentally ill people that were around. And if more people had knowledge of that, right, and knowing that
Hmm.
the mind works and overworks itself, I'm gonna tell y'all because Adam and Eve bit that apple from that tree. They had too much knowledge at that point, right? They had the knowledge of good and bad, right? So now they got these voices that are fighting within them, fighting. If more people were in tune with that and they knew, like, okay, in this certain area of my life, these is where these voices are always coming at me at. So when I'm doing this, I need to be more cautious of this. Or people who are like bipolar, right? Or not bipolar,
Hmm.
schizophrenic, right?
Hmm.
It's really a gift. It's a gift. They just got to know which voice they should be listening to.
Hmm.
When we're talking
Hmm.
about mental health in that way, you know, and what is on your mind, what is attacking your mind, why your mind is operating in this way. I really so much use it too for my children a lot
Mm-hmm.
because when it changes, their mind changes, right? When the moon
Mm-hmm.
shifts, their mood shifts,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
the truth. That's the truth.
And I'm gonna come down no Geminis, Virgos, Aquariuses. I got prominent placements there, so don't be jumping me in the comments over there, y'all.
I'm a Aquarius, so you know I'm over here like.
Look, I love Aquariuses. Look, I love Aquariuses. I do. I'm a Salem Aquarius, so I love Aquariuses or Celium,
But you
however
know,
which way I want to say it. Uranus, Uranus.
you know, you know, you know. And so, what daily practices do you recommend for somebody struggling with anxiety or feeling?
Oh, I can't hear you. You broke out a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. What daily practices do you recommend for someone struggling with anxiety or feeling stuck?
Depending on why you're feeling stuck and what is the anxiety about. Being in the present moment, I would say
Mm-hmm.
grounding yourself. Usually, when you have anxiety, you're very jittery. I know I get overstimulated, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when I get overstimulated, I need to go somewhere and calm down. Remove yourself from the environment and go back and ground yourself in nature, right? If it's cold
Right.
outside, shower. Water is one of the most top elements that you can use that holds memory and can help you get rid of things as well as it can help you hold on to things as well. Um, writing. Writing is another good one. A lot of the times we spend time in our heads. Y'all ever like ain't did nothing all day? You like, why am I so tired? Because you've been
Mm-hmm.
thinking all day. You've been using your energy that way. All the energy's in your head. So
Mm-hmm.
writing is a great one for anxiety. Um, is this a real feeling? What are my thoughts at this present moment? What am I feeling at this present moment? What is necessarily the truth? And
Right.
where are these aligning themselves back up at? Is this real something real that's in my world, or is it just something I'm being anxious about? I'm just thinking about. Breath
Right.
work is another good one for people with anxiety. Resetting the nervous system is huge. The nervous system is ran by Virgo, so that's like a lot of that antsiness will come in at. So breathing breathing techniques are great for anxiety to reset yourself.
Yeah, I agree. So Phoenix, how do you protect your own peace while helping others?
Baby, I got an Aquarius moon. What you think I'll be doing? I'll be cut.
Cut, cut.
I am. If I see that you're doing something that's gonna disturb my peace, I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna walk away from it. Like, oh, okay, it's cool. I'll talk my little smack, y'all. Don't get me wrong. I'm human like everybody else. I'll talk my little smack, but I just don't try to hold on to it. I used to hold on to things before, and hold on, and I realized it wasn't hindering anybody but me to continue to hold on to things or continue to allow people into my life that I knew would disturb my peace. You see the red flags. Once you see the red flags, instead of ignoring them, that's what I do, y'all. I don't ignore the red flags no more. I turn away. That's the most peaceful thing after going through all of that with my children's father. It's like, no, 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 no.
Not gonna do this.
Yeah,
Not
it's
gonna do this
facts.
no more.
Like I'm really quick to cut people off. If it's not no good for me, I'm not gonna hold on to it.
I get it. I definitely, you know, I get it.
Mhm.
Ooh, that's that Aquarius for real.
Yeah,
How can people how can people stop repeating unhealthy relationship patterns?
astrology. You'll start noticing
That
that you
sums
keep
it
running
up.
into the same placement. Like for
Mhm.
me, I kept running into Pisces moon. I was like, what is going on here? If I meet another Pisces moon, but I learned the lesson. I learned the lesson not to allow them to move me in such a way.
Mm,
Your map
mm.
is going to show you those repeated lessons that you continue to do. If you keep meeting
Right,
the same sign over and over again, you ain't learned your lesson. You don't even need your map at that point. You have not learned. I keep running into Gemini's. I keep running into Leos. Okay, well, What have they been showing you since they've been a part of your life?
Right. Right. What have they been
Right.
showing you?
People fail to realize that experiences create your instructions, right? And if experiences create your instructions, well, what is creating the experience?
Right. So, um, what advice do you have for aspiring coaches or entrepreneurs?
Coaches, I would say coaches always have a therapist or a coach. That's the best piece of advice as a coach I give you. Always have yourself a therapist or a coach, because there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to talk to people about, deal with, and that you'll go through yourself as you're shedding your skin and you continue to learn things. So that would be my best piece of advice to a coach.
So, how
Um,
do you balance?
I have a coach and I have a therapist, y'all. I got both.
Hey, well done. Well done. Some people are scared of therapists and coaches, and because everybody thinks that they can do things on their own, okay? And some people don't feel like they need to talk to anybody. So,
Oh no. Actually, my therapist is actually the one who really inspired me to start putting myself out there more, based on the conversations we were saying. He was like, "Man, you got to get yourself a podcast or something going. Like, you really got some stuff, right?" He's a Pisces, y'all. He that inspired one. Look at her. She's like, y'all can't be basing on energy, but yeah. So I that's the best piece of advice I could recommend too. My therapist is saved my life in a lot of ways. I have my therapist for like 4 years now. Um, yeah, so I that's something that I took into accountability as coming into a coaching career. I have to work on me, right? I have to work on me overall before I can help anybody else. Because hurt people, right? Y'all even see, I'm like I tell people all the time, I'm human. People think that life coaches are not human. I don't know why. I don't care what type of life coach you are. They think for some reason we're not human, or we're supposed to be perfect, or we're not supposed to talk about this. I'll be the first to tell you, I'm human just as well as you're human, baby. You know what I mean? Going through those experiences. So,
exactly.
mhm.
Like everybody has their days, everybody has stuff going
Mhm.
on. You just don't know what somebody has going on because, people like us make it look great. Okay.
Mhm.
So, really quick, I'm going to ask you a series of things, a kind of fun segment, really quick. So, if you could have dinner with any spiritual leader or historical figure, who would it be and why?
The Most High.
Let me sit at the table with you, God. Uh,
Because don't nobody know what it look like, who it look like, what it is. It said everything. We can see everything around. It says God is in everything. But I don't know. Let me talk to you for a second, because we
I
got some
am.
things we got to discuss. But
Meet me at
besides,
Applebee's real quick. I'm weak as shit.
um, but besides the Most High, who any spiritual leader? I'm gonna say my higher self then, because
Okay.
it's nothing more powerful than anything that's outside of you. And talking to your higher self, and your body and your spirit is a different thing than sitting down actually being able to have dinner with your higher self. You know what I mean? An actual something physical, right? I just like being alone a lot of times, y'all. So
I understand. I understand.
I like
So, what's one thing people assume about you that's completely wrong?
that I'm a tough ass, that my feelings don't get hurt easily. And my feelings are really hurt. You could do the smallest thing and it hurt my feelings. I won't say nothing. I'll just be like them humans. But
So, this would be my next question, which I can ask you. What's your zodiac sign,
I'm a Leo.
and how has it influenced your journey as a Leo?
It's pushed me out into the spotlight. I absolutely hate being on camera, you guys. I hate it, hate it, hate it. And the Leo came and put me in the game, coach. and said, "Nope, you got to put yourself out there." He's probably watching. Hi. Um, yeah, being a Leo, I had to realize that I shined everywhere I went, no matter if I tried to or not. I was always the outspoken person. Um, Leo definitely has made me shine, put myself out there more.
So let me ask you, coffee or tea?
Dang, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say Tito.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset, because everybody. That's why everybody get tired of Leos. You can only sit in the sun for too long. Even we get tired of us. Just saying.
Books or podcasts?
Podcast,
Manifestation or meditation?
meditation. You gonna manifest through meditation.
Mountains or the beach?
The beach.
Oh, I love
Man,
the
I can't swim.
I can't either, but I love the beach. Like the beach is just like, oh, I love the water.
There'll be a lifesaver there. What do they call it? A life coach? No, a lifeguard. A lifeguard there.
Oh, don't depend on me, baby. Because I don't even know if I can float.
I can float.
One word that describes your current season.
Release him.
One, two, three, release them.
Mhm.
What's one message you believe someone watching tonight needs to hear?
Nothing is more powerful than what's inside you. Absolutely nothing. But until you start to observe that energy yourself, that energy is not able to really be used. You will continue to go on the track that you're going without any intervention. Um, Knowing that you are creating your own experiences, like it's almost like you've chosen your path before you got here to move the way that you wanted to move, per se. Um, but it's like Mario, right, y'all? You know, when we was kids and we used to watch Mario and how Mario would go through these boards, but uninterrupted. But when you sat down to play that game and you started playing it, you were able to go up above the clouds. You were able to go down inside of these tunnels and things like this. When you start to really wake up to what your true purpose is, like soul wise, you begin to be able to utilize and use this energy. Why are we not utilizing and using the energy? When our parents said, you didn't come with a book, but you did come with a book. You did come with an instruction manual, right? Um, Another important thing I would say to them for your children is remember that you are only the engineers. That is it. Your children has chose you to keep them safe
Right.
until they are old enough to get out here and start learning these major life lessons in this world.
Right.
So by knowing that piece of information, be kind with yourself, be kind with
Mm-hmm.
the child. Um, and I would highly like encourage you to pay attention to the energy that surrounds the child just as well as the energy that surrounds you.
For sure. So, Phoenix, do you have any exciting projects or anything coming up?
Um, I got my spiritual life coaching class that I just tried on Monday, so we'll see. That's gonna be rolling out. I'm actually here at the podcast place right now, so I'll be starting my own podcast soon. Um, those are really what I really have going on. Getting my stand store set up, so like my more of my I would say more like lectures and things will be available for people to watch that I have and how to utilize energy in a specific way so that it works for you. Like even on your day to day with communication, you can just run into somebody and by listening to those, you know what type of person you're dealing with at that point. You're understanding how that person thinks and you don't even need to be sitting there guessing um, if this person is going to do this, if this person is going to do that, what type of energy. Oh, what are me and Bob going to do together? You and Bob are going to be business partners.
Right.
Right. You'll know who to take instructions from at that point. Because if you got somebody talking to you that's sitting in your ninth house, they're probably supposed to be teaching you some type of other knowledge, but you're taking money advice from them. But that ain't going to work.
That ain't gonna work.
Right. I call that's why I call a lot of things like you can speed through a lot of lessons in life if you had your map.
No, for real. Like people don't understand, I don't say too much, you know what I'm saying, about certain things because I don't believe it's in my calling, okay?
Mhm.
It's a lot of things I know, so I leave it to people like you, okay? Um uh, because I feel like at the end of the day, people are gonna be people, and that's who you expect them to be because some people are stuck in their ways and they will never understand
Mhm.
when you know who you are, you know what to do, okay? You know how powerful you are. Um, but anywho, I'm not a coach, y'all. I just know a
But
lot of
she's an
stuff, okay?
Aquarius, y'all. Let me tell you about the Aquariuses. They're coming out. Leos too. They're coming out. They're coming about. They're getting themselves out there because it's our time to help humanity. Times are changing, right? Even when you place like the people in your life into puzzle, I mean not puzzle, well, your map. When you take people, you start placing them inside your map. You're in my 12th house. I'm on your channel talking about spirituality. That is the house of spirituality. Aquarius is the internet. We met on social media through the
Mm-hmm.
internet. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? If you, I mean, it's a lot of maps to keep up with. I keep up with them all. Y'all ain't got to keep up with them all though. And my progression chart though, my 10th house is Aquarius. That is my career field, right? How the public eye is seeing me. What are we on? We're seeing how the public eye is out looking, seeing me. All these experiences are already just written there. You just got to pay attention to the energy. The experience, the instructions are going to be in the experience. The experience.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard that.
Yeah, I probably said it. I said experience again, but that was probably the emphasis on which I need to get paying attention to those experiences that are happening in your life. It's gonna help you get through life way more better because if some people are like sitting there like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? This is happening and this is happening and this is happening. I just be like, well, Saturn's sitting right there in my second house. It's gonna be delayed. Next, what's
Right.
coming next? You know, or it's
Right.
asking for this. So like even in more traumatic matters, it's like you see things already coming. Now, if you want to see them coming, is your own deal. How you want to use your own energy is your own business and your own deal. But
Right.
I do definitely think it makes you more consciously aware in life and it changes a little bit of the outcome that you can do because how you're utilizing the energy.
Right. I agree. So, where can everybody connect with you and book your coaching services?
You guys can. I'm working on my stand store to book my coaching services, but for now, you guys can email me at Phoenix, the spiritual life coach at gmail.com. You can also call my phone if I got a pin. 612-391 9139. That's my business phone. So y'all ain't gonna get, if you call for anything else. Find me on TikTok as well. I got the Phoenix symbol, the spiritual life coach. They leaving me here. They better not. Spiritual life coach. Um, yeah, that's about it.
And they
Those.
can they can catch you Monday through Friday on TikTok, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah, you're right. TikTok. Yeah, Monday through Friday I do. Sunday I do like the astrology news. Mondays I do guided meditation. Tuesdays are just like really a pop up. I'm gonna figure out something else to do on those days. But Wednesdays I typically have lectures. I think today I'm gonna get on there and probably like do like some Venus readings or something though, because I've been so busy with this. Thursday and Friday. Friday, I usually like, I'm trying to start doing speed dating through astrology, but I haven't been able to get as many people interested as I like. Yep. And then Saturdays, I do survival and thrival mode.
Okay. So y'all heard it. This is my girl Phoenix, you guys, and you can catch her on TikTok. She done gave y'all her phone number. But look, follow her on TikTok.
It's a business phone, so if y'all want to call and book an appointment, y'all can. Don't be calling my. Hey, I got an iPhone. I can block you.
Right. So there she is, Phoenix the spiritual coach. Y'all can find her on TikTok.
Be your own kids, girl. Be your own kids. What time is
Okay. 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 You can find her on TikTok. Y'all, I'm gonna wrap this up. I appreciate you, boo, coming to spread the energy throughout. My audience, your audience, so everybody have awareness of who you are. Everybody remember self-awareness, okay? Also remember, be present in every moment or you're gonna miss some shit, okay? All right. Thank y'all for coming out of Talks with Tay. That's my girl Phoenix. We out of here.
I
Thank you, boo.
appreciate you, girl. It's good practice
Yes.
for me because I'm nervous.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Bye.
I like how she got this though.
Oh, Nora, come on.